Hey, Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are, no matter what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, as a young person, and when I say young, I mean someone who is 40 and younger. As a young person, we typically go through this phase because society makes us think we're grown, right? But what is meant by grown is mature. But people typically don't know how to communicate what they really mean. So for women, typically, women don't start to mature until they're at least 25 years old. And even the soft spot in the top of the head is still a bit open until the age of around 25. Men don't start to mature until about 45. This is not my opinion. This has been scientifically researched. So you can do your research and confirm what I'm saying. So prior to that, we're very immature, right? And to walk around saying I'm grown, right? Mature people don't do that, right? And so that's one indication that you're not mature. Again, we're using the word grown, but the word is really mature. And again, because society says, oh, well, once you're 18, you're grown, you're an adult, right? So technically, yes, you are an adult. However, you still have a lot to learn about life. And so to go around like, and again, I did it. We all go through this, right? For me, everything was, I know. But once you turn 40, a light bulb goes off. And you realize you didn't know a damn thing. You didn't know what you thought you knew. This clarity just comes over you. And you have more of an understanding of life. Whereas you thought you knew everything before. And you didn't. And you don't. And again, this is not my opinion. So you can be mad at me. You can say, I don't like you. You can have an attitude. But getting an attitude further proves how immature you are. Because again, mature people could care less if you say they weren't grown. And they don't walk around saying I'm grown. Or I know everything. Or you can't tell me what to do. Mature people are respectful of themselves. And they're respectful of others. And age has nothing to do with maturity. Right? Because there are some 50, 60, 70-year-olds who are still very immature. So they should have advanced, but a lot of times when people have trauma in their childhood, they're stuck at whatever age they experienced that trauma, especially if they never heal from it. And again, this is not my opinion. Mature people don't do that. And so if you're, declaring that you're grown and you know everything and nobody can tell you what to do, then we're just going to let you bump your head because we know that you still have a lot to learn. This is one of the reasons why older men and older women date younger people, because they know they're easier to manipulate and control, because you think you know everything and they know you don't know half of what you think you know. And they can take advantage of that. I remember someone I used to coach and mentor. Even if he doesn't see it that way, right? He would ask me opinions. He was 35 and the young lady he was seeing was 52 years old. And I said to him, she is going to son you. He's like, no, she really likes me. We're going to be together, blah, blah, blah. She was teaching out of the country. So when she came back to the United States, she would stay with him. Then she started living with him. She told him, oh, well, we can't have sex because I'm a vegan and you need to be a vegan before we can have sex. Then once he became a vegan or vegetarian, something else, she came up with some other excuse. She came up with probably 3 or 4 excuses why she couldn't have sex with him. In the meantime, she's on social media with more mature people her age, actually having real relationship. And he was really hurt and devastated. But again, someone who's 10 to 15 years older than you, you don't have the knowledge they have. And 9 times out of 10, they're playing you. And a lot of times, especially for women, they will get married and have kids, and then they realize their mistake 20, 30, 40 years later. Does that happen to everybody? No. But it happens more often than not. And so this is why a lot of parents are against their children dating someone significantly older, because they know you're probably going to get played. It's not that they don't want to see you in a happy, healthy relationship. They know you're probably not going to have one with this person. Especially, like, men will just use their money because they know young women, oh, I just got to buy her something and she'll just give me what I want. And for older women, some of them will be sugar mamas, but some of them just teach you tricks. And so again, you think like, oh, I got it because, I had an older woman and she taught me some tricks, honey. I had somebody else tell me that recently, like, oh, well, this older woman, she just want to play around, but she got other men that she's seeing. Of course she does. At least she told you. At least she was honest with you about it, because there's no way in the world she can take you seriously if you're that much younger than her. You're just a toy for her. Maybe the older guy that she's with can't keep up with her, because women reach their peak when they turn 40. Men reach their peak when they're 20, and it starts to slow down as they get older, especially if you have a lot of partners throughout your life. Because your tool is not meant to be overused like that. You're not really meant to spill your seed, but most people don't know anything about that. So because society says, oh, you're a man if you got a whole bunch of women, you can do. And again, so you don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about semen retention or any of the things that you should know about, because nobody's teaching you that. They're just saying, oh, sow your royal oats. I love y'all. I have a lot to share, a lot to teach. If you would like to learn it, I'm more than happy to share it. And of course, we older people can learn from younger people. Absolutely. But if you're stubborn and you're like, oh, I'm grown and you can't tell me anything, and you feel like you can't learn anything from an older person, you're sadly mistaken. And again, we're just going to let you bump your head.